W.L. Weller, Antique 107. W.L. Weller is a brand of Kentucky straight bourbon originally created by the Stitzel-Weller Distilling Company in 1935. The storyline centers around William LaRue Weller, an 18th century whiskey pioneer from Louisville, Kentucky. His recipe claims to be the first that features wheat instead of the much more commonly used rye in his grain bill. The brand has changed ownership several times throughout the years, but since 1999, it is run by Sazerac Company Incorporated, a large alcoholic beverage business based in New Orleans. Often referred to as poor man's Pappy, the Weller line shares the same grain bill and facility as the legendary Pappy Van Winkle. The ingredients of this roughly 7-year-old 107 proof straight bourbon include corn, malted barley, and the relatively unique addition of wheat as a flavoring grain, which, allegedly, lends itself to a smoother, more mellow drinking experience. The tasting notes provided by Buffalo Trace Distillery include sweet and unusual floral notes coupled with vanilla, fruity undertones, and a spicy cinnamon finish. Let's give it a try. So right away, I get some dried fruit, toffee, very light caramel presence. A bit rich on the nose. See if you can get a good idea of the color, but it's fairly light. It's a non-age disclosed bourbon, but we're guessing it's around 7 years old, so it's not too dark from all that oak. Smells great. Smells, wow. Would love to put this into a cocktail. An old-fashioned specifically. Definitely some cinnamon there. Pretty in line with what's on the nose though. There's this great toffee character. It's a little bit rich. There's very little bite. It's not aggressive. Very approachable for the proof. I mean, at 53.5% alcohol, you expect a little slug, but no, it's quite approachable. And this is at 76 degrees ambient temperature. I would actually like it to be a little bit cooler. Maybe a splash of water would be nice. Just a tiny bit to open up what I think is going to reveal to be more fruit and a little bit more of a because there is a cleansing quality almost on the finish. Not mint, but not far from mint. It's a sensation, kind of a lifting sensation that makes me think of something like that, a spearmint or... I don't get it on the nose though. It's toffee and cinnamon on the nose for sure. Gorgeous. I mean, this is really a gorgeous bourbon. This is under $40 if you can find it, that is, which you probably can't. But if you can find it under 40 for this, I think this was actually 35 in Alabama. This would be my house bourbon in a heartbeat if I could get my hands on it. I mean, the value is fantastic. This is good. This is good stuff right here. Given the relative scarcity of Weller and the subsequent price hike on the secondary market, I'm inclined to suggest drinking it neat with a splash of water or, my personal favorite, a large cube of ice. That being said, if you're in a town with ample access to this wonderful bourbon, then it goes fantastic in an old-fashioned or a Manhattan. Cheers.